to that. Honorable Chair, members, the Portfolio Committee had asked me to explain myself and elaborate on the utterances that I made when I appeared before the TV camera on the 27th of January in 2025. Honorable Chair, perhaps let me start when I responded to the engagement with the journalist at the time. I cited the smear campaigns that are going around trying to tarnish my name to some degree, being reminded of what transpired back then in 2011, 2012, when I was the acting national commissioner. And I felt that there's similarities in terms of what is happening now and what is happened back then. Honorable Conor Barnard will remember very well that crime intelligence were on the news almost on a weekly basis. And that, Honorable Chair, has been a strategy that has been deployed by police officers that are facing a difficult time in the organization as far as investigations against them. The modus operandi is for them to go to the media and make themselves look good, and certainly so, they even approach some of the honorable members and they use them to be their mouthpiece and justify their evil deeds.
You know what? This is some set news. General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi says that when his contract ends and he is out and he's not looking for any position from where he is, and cries for and say that there is a sabotage, and it has been happening for the past 14 years, from the days of Reapiega going to the days of Senzo Mnchunu, going to the days of Begicel. He says that he has been harassed and being exposed by these ministers because they are working to just tarnish his name and his image, and as if they have something against him. But he's saying that there was a time whereby he worked at home for the entire year under Reapiega and he was getting salaries for doing nothing. He was paid just to sit at home because he has been stopped by those who are in power. What is happening? Welcome to Newsology channel, a political channel that talks about politics and what is happening around South Africa. I please implore you to join me as we'll be exploring the mission and what the cries of General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi is, because he says that he's been mistreated by the ministers of police, the NPA, and the media. They are behind his fall, and he says that he had enough. He's not looking for bigger positions, and if they are spreading those false news, he's saying that he's not part of that. When his contract ends, just a year left for his contract to end, he is out. He'll just take his bags and go, right? So it is very sad what has been happening in that department. In fact, the government departments, when you're there genuinely and you do your job and you are there being an honest individual, you will always get sabotaged by those that are doing corruption because you are disrupting their activities.
Honorable Chair, in let me take you back into what transpired in this current period. In 2024, on the 29th of October, to be precise, I received a phone call, Chair, a phone call and a message that came from a gentleman who said to me he's a close associate of the Minister of Police, and that is Mr. Brown. He referred to himself as Mr. Brown Mkhwanazi. This Mr. Brown Mkhwanazi, who had described himself as a close associate to the Minister of Police, indicated to me, which made me believe that he's a close associate of the Minister of Police, because he said to me he was joining the Minister of Police to visit the Lusikisiki massacre that had happened last year. And because I did not trust him, I called the Chief of Staff to try and establish who is this gentleman. And the Chief of Staff did confirm to me that indeed he is a very person close to the Minister of Police. So that was the start of the troubles that came. which then had to be amplified in one way or another. And subsequent to that, this year, then the journalist asked me a question from City Press in writing. We responded to it. We gave the fact. But the City Press, we felt that because they were in a mission, the journalists might be in a mission to make sure that my name is tarnished out there. We went ahead and wrote about it. Despite the fact that his colleague learned about this thing a couple of months before, but he did not write because they had asked me, I gave my statement, so they didn't publish the story because they realized that it was just the smear campaign. But these journalists specifically went and wrote the story. The sad thing about it is there was no investigation done by the journalist. The journalist just took a person who says there's allegations against Mkwanazi on this. He took Mkwanazi's face, he put it in front of the newspaper, and he wrote the story. And that damaged my image to some degree. And as a result, there's some litigation that we are going to be pursuing with the newspaper concerned. Chair, when I spoke to the journalist in referring to what transpired after that, for instance, the stories that subsequently came, of which one of them that came recently was that I was in the front run of a post of TPCI. Honorable Chair and members, not because of arrogance or whatever, but I can safely tell you that I believe I'm the oldest or the longest serving lieutenant generals in the South African Police Service. And I'm in the highest notch of this level that I'm in. I cannot get any promotion beyond what I have now. So if anyone will feel that I was going to pursue any post beyond this, they are mistaken. I know there are colleagues that are eager for the posts that are going to be vacant. When I joined the South African Police Service, it was my resolve to face the criminals directly. That's why I joined the Public Order Police Unit. And from there, I moved to the Special Task Force. I never wanted to be a detective specifically because I wanted to be involved with the real action that is a combination of both investigation and combating in the main. So it has never been my interest to become a detective. So those that decided again, the very same newspaper or very same journalist or media houses, they then go and put my face out there as if I'm the person that wants to become a DPCI. I'll say in front of the public and to the colleagues that are within the South African Police Service who are interested to apply for the post that they must feel free that I will never submit my application for the post of DPCI. I remain here to see to it my contract is done, a contract that has got a year to go before it ends. And I'll do my job, and from there I'll go home and relax.
KZN Police Commissioner Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi contract ends in a year. While he says he intends to complete his term and then go home to rest, his remarks hinted an internal tension. Addressing Parliament on Wednesday, Mkhwanazi spoke about alleged smear campaigns tarnishing his reputation. He claimed that a close associate of Police Minister Senzo Mnchunu informed him of an internal effort to discredit him. He confirmed with the Chief of Staff that the person is close to the Police Minister. This person appears to be very close to the Minister of Police and was traveling with him to Lusikisiki. I believe in an investigation will determine whether he indeed traveled with the minister. Through this investigation, we will be able to establish the communication between this gentleman and the minister, Mkhwanazi said publicly. He dismissed the rumors that he was among those seeking the top position at the Hawks. I believe I'm the longest serving Lieutenant General in the subs. I'm at the highest notch of my level. I cannot get any further promotion. If anyone feels that I will pursue any post beyond this, they are mistaken. When I joined subs, it was my resolve to face the criminals directly. I never wanted to be a detective, specifically because I wanted to be involved in real action, a combination of both investigation and combating crime. The man, he explained. He claimed that during his tenure as acting National Police Commissioner, he had launched investigation amid a backlash from senior officials, investigations that ultimately went nowhere, a situation he believes mirrors the challenges he has in his current role. He made it clear that he had no intention of applying for the Directorate to Priority Crime Investigation Hawks position, saying the reports around this were aimed to discredit him. I will never submit my application for post. I remain here to see to it that my contract is done, a contract that's got a year to go. I'll do my job, and from where I go home and relax.
I must check my standing with him. And because he said yesterday he pushed a negative narrative about me on how the cash in transits are happening in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, and the fact that I don't want to listen to the advices of crime intelligence when they're giving me early warnings and so forth. And he cited a retired Major General Chika to be amongst the people that were unhappy about my response into their warnings about crime intelligence. So that's a communication that he brought to me. And when I asked him about more details about this thing, where did he get this, and what is General Khumalo specifically saying about me?
So now it shows that there is a conflict, and you know that it's very hard to do your job when we are being sabotaged, right? So Nhlanhla Mkwanazi believes that there is a smear campaign going around trying to tarnish and destroy his name to a degree that he's been reminded of what transpired in 2011 and 2012 when he was hired to be acting a national commissioner, right? That is when things now, this problem started for him. And he says that there are police officers that are facing investigations against them. They use the media to make themselves to look good, even approach some of the politicians, and they use them to their mouthpiece, as their mouthpiece, to justify their evil deeds. He received a phone call and a message that came from a gentleman who said to him he's close associated with the Minister of Police, Senzo Mnchunu, and his name is Mr. Brown Mahoti. There's an internal attempt to discredit him through the defeating of the ends of justice case. He sent me a copy that said I stopped an arrest of one senior official from correctional services, right? He's been accused, some lieutenant, to be involved with some cash in transit crimes that are happening around KZN. They are saying that Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi is involved with some cash in transit crimes. He's behind those. That is very deep. He's stubborn and don't want to listen to a crime intelligent, right? To an extent that this was reported to the minister, and the minister knows everything about that, right? Then he says that the Minister of Police called him and said that don't charge multiple persons in the NPA, and he will take over. And after that, when the problems started for him and some of the generals, when they had to investigate some top officials in the NPA, right? So it's crying for to say that the minister interjected and say that don't go there, and that's when the problems started. So he says that there are shocking crimes done by crime intelligence, and those members can destroy anyone. There are police officers that are being investigated, and they are using the ministers to get their ways around. So he says that this is not a very healthy environment to work in. So he has had enough, because the media now he's pushing that he's doing some crimes, doing some wrong things, and there are people who are sabotaging him, from the officers, from the minister's officers, from the ministers himself, even other politicians. Now they want to control him, then they want him to listen to some intelligence there, to listen to hawks, to listen to different departments which are dealing with crime. But he says that now the problem is that those departments are corrupt. They are corrupt people which are there, and they are now spreading these rumors around to say that he wants top positions, and they're saying, no, me, I'm done. When this contract ends, I am out.
Despite the fact that Inspector General of Intelligence already said that the NPA was wrong. Subsequent to that, Honorable Chair, we continue with the departmental matter as we were authorized to proceed. Subsequent to that, as I was driving home to KZN, I received a call from the same advocate Khadeb, who was Inspector General, telling me that she has compromised her career the recommendation that she gave me to prosecute Mkhwanazi was wrong. I must bring that letter back. I refused. The next thing, I got a call from the Minister of Police at the time, who was Mr. Mteto, to his house, where he instructed me that I must not charge Mkhwanazi, and because Inspector General of Intelligence have decided that I should not charge Mkhwanazi. And the Inspector General of Intelligence was present in that house. And she said, I gave an instruction of what to write. I disputed that, and I said it's a lie. But nonetheless, I told her that until I have something black and white that you are saying to me, I must not charge Aaron Mkhwanazi, I will continue with the case. Well, of course, criminal, we can't do anything because the NPA had taken a decision, but departmental, we shall continue. And the Inspector General of Intelligence then invited me to a house where she brought back the letter initially that she had withdrawn that said Mkhwanazi is clean, he cannot be charged. And she brought the letter which she had filed, and she gave it to me again that said, no, Mkhwanazi is clean. So as a result, the case must be withdrawn. Honorable Chair, what transpired after that, it's recorded. The advocate Bredenbach, Gerald Libya, Gerald Massimolo himself, Gerald Kumalo, who's now DPCI, myself, and many other police officers started facing difficulty after that. Especially, I can talk about those in the police. It is on history how Gerald Libya was removed from the SAPS under the leadership of the National Commission at the time, Gerald Pierre. We know how the paging and everything that was done. Myself, Honorable Chair, from the arrival of Gerald Pierre as the head of the SAPS, I sat at home. She did not allocate many posts. She was happy to have me sitting at home for more than 12 months, not doing anything. And it didn't bother me. I feel, Chair, I had done enough. I've gone through some difficult trainings in my life that taught me how to endure. So I just sat there and I told them until they want to make use of me, I'll be available at home. So I enjoyed getting pension payers, taxpayers' money without being used. And to date, there was never investigation about my command at the time, Gerald Pierre, with regard to that action. But I sat at home and doing nothing. And many people will tell their stories. Gerald Kumalo will tell you, because Gerald Kumalo became a bad person, especially as I had assigned him, Honorable Chair, to go to crime intelligence and work there at counterintelligence office, where he uncovered shocking things, which today is still uncovering.
So if they take him out, imagine what will happen to those areas that are mostly violent there in KZN. So it will just turn out to be negative and bad, man, for this country. And I don't know if just maybe our president or those who are in charge were very wise, or maybe they were working for justice. These are the people that need help, because they bring order, they bring peace, they bring respect to the department. So if you lose such credible leaders, cops, and you remain with now these bribery collecting cops, what is the future of this country when it comes to policing, right? It means that it will be corruption throughout. Those who are honest and want to tackle crime, they will be put aside and being sabotaged. For over 14 years, this man is crying, right? And it's been very patient, Shame. He's been very patient, because you will understand that the people that he's dealing with are very powerful. They can just destroy him like that. But he's been patient throughout, and he's doing his job, right? He's not focusing on these people, he's focusing on tackling crime. This is one of the people that we need to head, to be the commissioners, to be the ministers. We need someone that will know what to do. 1, 2, 3. This is the outcome. This is what I need to do. This is the corruption. We deal with this. We punish this. These are the crimes. We need people who are sober-minded and who are honest, not these hypocrites that we have. This is one of the sad days and moments for this country to say that we are losing great soldiers. Please don't forget that you can subscribe to this channel, and you can support us by pressing the super thanks, and you can leave your comment on the section below. Until we meet on the next video, and I'm out.